So in continuation of our previous lecture on fermentation and especially about different type of fermentation processes, today we will focus on continuous culture technique. And we will mainly discuss about chemostat as well as turbidostat method of fermentation and what are the difference between these two methods, uh, and what are the different things you have to perform whenever you are going to conduct this kind of fermentation process. So in the last class, we have already discussed about the continuous culture method and why it is preferred over batch method or fed batch method. And we have discussed a lot about the different types of advantages as well as disadvantages of batch method, fed batch method, as well as continuous culture method. So continuous culture technique, it is also called as open system of cultivation of different type of microorganisms. So what is happening in this system? We are taking fresh sterile medium which is added continuously in the fermenter, or you can say the vessel you are using for that fermentation process, and use of media with bacterial culture is removed continuously from the system at the same rate. And because of that, the volume of bacterial density in the system remains same inside that cultivation vessel. So what is important in this? It is an open system of cultivation, and whatever inflow rate of substrate is there, at the same rate we will have to maintain for taking out our final product from the system. So in this technique, bacteria grow continuously in their log phase, and this type of growth is known as steady state growth. And cell density, which is very important thing in this type of method. So in this continuous culture method, cell density remains constant and it is achieved by maintaining constant dilution and flow rate. As I have already discussed, that you have to maintain the same rate. So a culture vessel design for continuous culture, and two types of approaches can be adopted in continuous culture method. One is chemostat and another one is turbidostat. So the first method is chemostat. It consists of a culture having fresh medium, is continuously introduced at the constant rate, and culture volume is kept constant by continuous removal of culture at the same rate. We have already told you people that whatever amount should be present inside that vessel, you have to remain constant. You have to keep the volume of those substrate at constant level, and for that you have to continuously add some amount of fresh medium, and we have to take out the final product or fermented product from the system at the same rate or same speed. And supply of single nutrient controls growth rate. So these are the main thing which is happening in chemostat. And the fermenter is called chemostat because the growth rate is controlled by the availability of single component of the medium, and that is known as substrate. And important features are that it is the continuous introduction of fresh medium that feeds the limiting substrate to the culture and the dilution rate. So just by maintaining the flow rate of different kind of selected substrate, you can maintain a fixed volume inside the vessel, and automatically you have to control the dilution rate. So the rate of addition of fresh medium, it determines the specific growth rate of the culture. So whatever things you have to perform, you have to keep in your mind that the amount you are removing after fermentation process, the same amount you have to add in the system, and you have to maintain the volume inside the fermenting chamber. So what are the main features? I have already explained that culture remains constant. Whatever culture you are introducing or deliberately using for achieving a desired type of fermentation in the process, that will be remain constant in the system. And the time required to fix a small volume of medium with the culture should be small. So perfect mixing is there. Automatically each and every particle of substrate will get the same treatment, same effect, and same level of action by different kind of starter bacteria or culture you are using for achieving a particular type of fermentation. Then the environmental condition can be maintained constant. And what are those environmental conditions? They are the nutrient concentration, pH, temperature, antibiotic concentration inside the chamber. So automatically by maintaining and by using different kind of sensor, you can have idea about all these parameters, and just by adjusting the knob given by that in that instruments, you can maintain a particular level of nutrient, a particular level of pH, temperature, as well as the antibiotic concentration. An environmental condition can be varied while maintaining a specific growth rate. So growth rate is also a very important criteria, because the information you are collecting from different devices, automatically you have to maintain a typical or a specific type of growth rate inside the chamber. So, and the next one is biomass properties such as macromolecular composition and functional characteristic can be maintained constant by using these instruments, and whatever monitoring instruments are there fitted in the system. Just by having idea about different things like nutrient, pH, temperature, you can maintain the whole system. And the biomass concentration can be set by altering the concentration of the limiting substrate in inflowing medium and maintain constant. So just by having idea about all these things, you can maintain a specific condition inside the chamber, what type of flow rate you have to maintain, what type of how much final product you have to take it from the system, you can maintain by having idea about all these things. So air filter is there. Whatever air you are taking inside the chamber, that should be free from any sort of contaminating microorganisms. Sterile media is there. Flow regulator you have to use depending upon the information you are collecting. Then if you see the culture vessel, inoculation port is there, magnetic stirrer is fitted in that machine, or thereafter a continuous flow you have to maintain in this chamber. Whatever amount you are taking out or whatever final product you are taking out from the culture vessel, the same amount you have to add from this system. So just by maintaining this, you can continuously in the process of getting the final product, and thereafter you have to again go for the further purification process for getting your final product. Now the next one is turbidostat method. What is happening in that? What kind of a special instrument you have to use in this particular method is very important to know. And here one very important thing that I just want to tell you people, that you have to supply some some specific type of light in the sample just to see the turbidity level. And just one device is there who will observe the total transmittance of light, and automatically it will give signal to the other section, or regulating valve will be automatically add or reduce the flow rate inside the chamber. So what is happening in that, it is very important to know. So turbidostat is a continuous microbiological culture device similar to the chemostat, in which flow of substrate controlled by feedback of the turbidity of the culture vessel and accordingly change the dilution rate. So whatever information you are taking about the turbidity level of the material kept inside as a substrate, automatically that will regulate or that will change the dilution rate. So the theoretical relationship between growth in a chemostat and growth in a turbidostat is somewhat complex. But one very important point is this, that chemostat has a fixed volume and flow rate, and thus a fixed dilution rate. So these things are fixed in case of chemostat. Fixed volume, fixed flow rate, and fixed dilution rate. And what is different in a turbidostat? It is dynamically adjust the flow rate and therefore the dilution rate to make the turbidity constant. Here turbidity is the main thing. You have to keep constant your turbidity conditions inside your fermenter vessel. So just by observing that turbidity, you have to regulate the flow rate inside this particular fermenter. At steady rate, operation of both the chemostat and turbidostat are identical. It is only when the classical chemostat assumptions are violated, for instance, out of equilibrium, or the cell are mutating. In some case, you will get some kind of mutation inside the chamber. Automatically, turbidity will be changed. Whatever end product will should be formed inside the chamber, that will not form in time, or whatever flow rate you have maintained, that will be disturbed. So that in that case, turbidostat is started functionally differently. So one case may be while cells are growing at the maximum growth rate, in which case it is difficult to set a chemostat to an appropriate constant dilution rate. So these are the main thing and main difference in turbidostat method if you compare it with chemostat method. So most of the turbidostat use a spectrophotometer or turbidometer. So simply you have to remember the name of this instrument, which is generally used for measuring the turbidity inside the system. And it is used to measure the optical density for controlling the process, and the aim is also to maintain constant turbidity level. So these instruments which are used for observing the turbidity, they are responsible for maintaining a constant turbidity level inside the chamber. This process is cost effective, and as all of you know, it is another method of continuous processing. So, and at the same time, it reduces the number of stages like cleaning, sterilization, preparation of starter culture. So this is the main advantage of using continuous method, and especially this turbidostat method. In continuous culture, the cell population can be maintained in the exponential phase at constant cell concentration for a long time. As all of you know, that logarithmic or exponential phase is very important as far as the fermentation process is concerned, as far as the different type of desired metabolites or end products are concerned. So automatically in this case, you can maintain a very good population inside the chamber, and automatically you can produce a good amount of final product within a specified time. So by reducing the number of stages, it also saves time and energy. And the product is being continuously eluted, so the toxicity of the secondary metabolites do not affect the culture medium. We are taking out a desired amount or whatever amount already fermented, and whatever whatever end product is available in the system, we are taking out. So whatever toxic substance may be generated in the system, the same will be go out. So there may be chances of not affecting the starter culture which we are using for desired fermentation. And therefore, continuous culture avoids the accumulation of toxic substance. It gives high productivity by utilizing the substrate. So one very important thing, how it is working, how turbidostat is working. We are mainly using these two devices, photoelectric devices as well as optical sensing devices. Whatever changes inside the chamber, that will be noted down by sensors present in the system, and automatically that will send the message about the turbidity to the regulator, which is used for addition or restriction of sterile media which is required for the system. So here photocell is there and light source is there. Whatever emitted light is there, that will be recorded by this, and this will send information to the valve controlling flow of the medium. So automatically, just by using these instruments, you can have a better control on the system and you can produce a good quality of final product. Now something about the major differences of chemostat. Chemostat is a system in which the chemical composition is kept at a controlled level for the culture of the microorganisms which you are using or which you have selected for achieving a particular goal. And in case of turbidostat, a continuous microbiological culture device which has feedback between the turbidity of the culture vessel and the dilution rate. So this is a major difference between these two. Chemical composition of the medium is constant, while in case of turbidostat, turbidity of the medium is also constant, but the flow will depend upon the turbidity level present or change inside the system. In case of chemostat, fresh medium is continuously added at the same rate as the removal of the product. And in case of turbidostat, fresh medium is automatically added, maintaining a constant turbidity level. So turbidity is main thing. What type of fermentation is going inside the system, that is very important, and that will regulate the flow rate inside the turbidostat. And in case of chemostat, dilution rate remains constant. Dilution rate varies in case of turbidostat. If some kind of mutation is occur in the system, automatically the flow rate will be changed, because we are maintaining the whole system on the base of information you are collecting by using a spectrophotometer or turbidometer about the solution present in the vessel. And the last one is proceeds with a limiting nutrients in case of chemostat, and in case of turbidostat has no such limiting nutrients. So this is the major difference between these two. And what is happening in chemostat? Population size and growth rate controlled by limiting supply of the nutrients. While in case of turbidostat, population size controlled by feedback between culture density and removal of culture. And copious nutrients allow population to grow freely. So here is the instrument, and just by having idea about the optical density, and this will indirectly give you idea about the population of live cell present in the system, and accordingly you can control the whole system. So the major difference here, medium fed inside the chamber at constant rate. This dilution rate determines the flow rate, and culture volume kept constant by overflow just by harvesting the final product from the chamber. All nutrients in excess except for one limiting nutrient. One limiting nutrient is there. You have to maintain the flow of that limiting nutrients present in the system for continuation of the process. And what is happening in this? Here you can see the light source and photocell is there. which is responsible for collecting information or whatever turbidity level inside the chamber that will be recorded by this photocell. Thereafter, it will transmit the information to the controller section, and automatically it will regulate the speed of pump for feeding substrate material inside the system. So this is the major difference between these two methods, chemostat as well as turbidostat. Now something about the similarity between these two methods. These two methods are continuous method of culturing, and both are the open system, and in this fresh medium is added to the culture while removing the product throughout the process, and hence both system maintains a constant volume. It is very important. These are the similarities present in chemostat as well as in the turbidostat method of fermentation. And in both cultures exhibit a steady state growth. So just by maintaining the other things inside the chamber, it exhibits, both the method exhibits a steady state growth. So in last, continuous culture requires two apparatus like chemostat and turbidostat to maintain a cell in a steady phase of growth, and both method follow some similar criteria like maintenance of the constant cell density, growth of microbial cell in steady state, and the flow rate of the medium and the cell are continuously changing. So it is very important, whatever information you are getting from inside the chamber, accordingly you have to change the feeding material, quantity of feeding material. In case of turbidostat, whatever information you are getting, you have to change the feeding according to that information. So therefore, a continuous culture is preferred over the other type of cell cultivation method like batch and fed batch culture, where some limitations are there. In last class, I have explained you that what are the different limitations of batch method and fed batch culture method. In batch method, a very controlled condition is required, and very small amount you can get as a final product, or whatever product you have to produce, and it is, you can perform that method in a very controlled environment. So in continuous method gives high productivity as the microbial cell exists in their logarithmic phase, and we have already discussed about these things, and we have idea that the log phase is a phase of highest metabolic activity where they convert a substrate into the product. We have already discussed about the different phases of growth of different kind of microorganisms in any medium. So I think this is all about different kind of fermentation. First of all, we have discussed about the submerged culture method, then solid state fermentation method. In last class, we have discussed about different kind of batch method, then fed batch method, continuous method, and today we have discussed about the chemostat as well as turbidostat method. And I think this is all about your fermentation method